Modern India is often presented to the world as a total economic miracle, a surging, hyper-modern power and the world's most populous, thriving democracy. But look closer, and the miracle reveals a profound fracture. The growth is heavily skewed, creating a visceral divide between a new class of ultra-rich and the millions living in the shadow of their skylines. This chart shows how that wealth is distributed. The top 1% now commands over 40% of the nation's total wealth. Mathematically, modern India is more unequal than it ever was under the British colonial Raj. For the other 99%, the miracle looks like jobless growth. While the national GDP climbs, it fails to translate into employment, leaving millions of young people without a path into the economy. When independent voices question how a few tycoons are acquiring such a massive share of the country, the state responds with force.
Journalists who investigate these ties are frequently raided and arrested under draconian anti-terror laws. To understand why forests are being cleared, why jobs are disappearing, and why reporters are being jailed, we have to reverse engineer the billionaire Raj machine. In any democracy, power theoretically begins at the ballot box. But in 2018, a new system was introduced to quietly rewrite how power is bought. It was called the electoral bond scheme. It functioned as a legal loophole, allowing corporate groups to funnel massive, anonymous donations directly into the coffers of political parties. This effectively legalized the wholesale purchase of political influence. For the first time, the nation's wealthiest conglomerates could bankroll the state without the public ever knowing who was paying. The payout for these donations came in the form of policy. In exchange for funding, corporations received the right to extract massive public resources with minimal oversight. This is the Hasdeo Arand forest, the lungs of central India. Today, this pristine ecosystem is systematically stripped for coal mining by corporate giants. To make the mines possible, the government canceled community forest rights granted to the Adivasi people, displacing indigenous communities who protected these lands for generations. This is the machine in action, a political system monetized to convert public, indigenous land directly into private, billionaire profit. Managing an extraction system this vast requires total narrative control. You have to ensure the public doesn't connect the political donations to the disappearing forests. To achieve this, wealthy tycoons aligned with the ruling party have systematically bought up legacy TV channels and massive newspaper networks. This media capture creates a constant distraction. Mainstream outlets focus on polarizing culture wars while burying the data on jobless growth and environmental destruction. The only threat to this arrangement comes from small independent newsrooms. These digital platforms are painstakingly connecting the dots between political bonds, coal mines, and rising inequality. Because these journalists cannot be bought, the state targets them with the weight of the law. They face tax raids, constant surveillance, and anti-terror charges designed to silence their reporting. This crackdown isn't random. It is a vital defensive mechanism required to keep the billionaire Raj's profit engine running in the dark. The billionaire Raj operates as a meticulously engineered three-part feedback loop. Corporate money secretly funds the political system. In return, politicians deregulate public resources for corporate extraction. Finally, state power and corporate media unite to crush dissent, protecting the profits that start the loop again. The health of a democracy is not found in its GDP growth. It is found in who that growth actually serves, and whether its laws protect the most vulnerable or the most powerful. Despite the pressure, independent news networks fueled by citizen donations refuse to be silenced. They prove the first step to dismantling a corrupt machine is simply explaining how it works.